Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. I am your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. And right beside me is my beautiful wife of 13 plus years, 2 kids, no animals.
No animals. I am your co-host, Mrs. Smith. I'm your co-host. And I'm your co-host. Back it up. I'm your co-host, Mrs. Mr. aka Data Mr. And together we are
the Misters. And as you can see, I take a breath away. Listen, you are listening to the number one relationship marriage podcast in the world. Yes, I said it, and I said what I said. And
we're proclaiming it.
Yes, speaking it into existence. So thank you for listening. Wherever you listen to, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts.
We appreciate you.
YouTube, whatever you are. Thank you. Listening, watching, wherever you are. We thank you. And we're talking about today, talking about loving and liking. Which one's better? Which one's more important to you? What's like got to do with it? What's like got to do with it? Hey, what's like got us firsthand? So firsthand emotion. You gotta like. You have to love somebody before you like. Exactly. So getting into it today. I love you, but I don't like you. I love you, but I don't like you. Say it one more time for the people in the back. I love you. The person you're looking at right now. Somebody just pinched somebody real hard. Yes. I love you,
but I don't like you. Yes.
Stay tuned.
And basically how this come about is...
Stay tuned. Yes.
Because a lot of couples, you may love your spouse, but you may not necessarily like your spouse.
Is it important?
And is it as important?
Is love enough? Is love enough for us to make it? January, I was looking at the stat on Instagram or whatever like that, and they were saying that January is the most filed for divorces out of all 12 months. I was like, man,
and Jeffrey asked me why, and I said because a lot of times, like, I'm starting a new year and I'm not taking whatever. I'm leaving you behind.
So I guess they're leaving folks behind.
So people leaving spouses behind.
Man, it's cold blooded out there. So I mean, we all know people who've been divorced and whatnot too. And so like you may be able to bring a divorce today, whatever. I don't know. We don't know where you are. You may be like, I will never get divorced. You may be ready, but I love her, but I don't like her. And so I mean that's real though. Like who do you like all the time besides yourself? I like myself all the time. Do you like yourself all the time?
I do sometimes.
Sometimes you like yourself.
I love myself a majority of the time. You know, there are moments where I'm like, darn it.
You say to yourself sometimes?
Yeah. But like self, I don't like you today.
That's good. That's fair. That's fair.
So, but before we do that, we have to do the theme song.
Oh yes. So if you a first time listener, you gotta sing this. It's a ritual for our listeners. We call you the Mr. Family. The Mr. Family, you're a part of our family. So you gotta sing along with us right now. And the theme song goes a little something like this. Mr. Family Rules. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Come on, y'all.
Laugh, learn, love.
What you say?
Laugh, learn, love.
What you talking about?
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Learn love. Come on. Learn love. Come on, back up, sing it. Learn love. Hold on, cut. Somebody watched this for the first time, and this is not a representation of what we stand for. I apologize to you for listening or watching right now. We will do better, and we will do better now, right now, as you listen. This is unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. So take it from the top, please. That's how Joe Jackson was with his family. That's how Michael Jackson was one of the greatest singers of all time. He did not allow you think of that. So you swallow down whatever you need to do. My first time listening,
I'm just so tickled tonight. I don't know.
You better untickle yourself and get this song ready. Okay. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Come on, y'all.
Laugh, learn, love.
What you say?
Laugh, learn, love.
What you want to do?
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
What you listen to?
Laugh, learn, love.
What we're about to do?
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah.
Let's start the show.
Yeah. Hey, that was much better. Thank you. Now you're like, okay, I might be able to listen to this podcast. Yes. I might keep working out. I might keep my earbuds in at work. Now, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank y'all too for everybody who's rated everything, who shared the podcast.
Yes.
We can't thank y'all part of the Mr. Family. You are day one, so we just think on that. Thank
yes. So, basically we're gonna start it off, and of course we always love to with the laugh part, and we like to start this segment called
Whose Side You're On. First time, listen real quick, just a little quick part. You have to let us know whose side you're on. She's gonna give her take. There's a question that we go into. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to give our take. You tell us on social media, mr.mrs.mister, Mr. Mrs. Mr. on Instagram, or the Mr. Mrs. Mr. podcast on Facebook, and let us know exactly whose side you're on. Here's your whose side you're on question of the week. Take it away, Miss Mister.
All right. If you call a mutual married friend out to dinner and cozy up to someone other than their spouse, would you A, confront the friend, B, tell their spouse only, or C, do nothing and mind your business like you were never there?
So A, confront them, B, tell the spouse only, or C, do nothing. What is your letter? A, B, or C? A, confront them on the spot. Bam, I see you. B, let me let the spouse know what's going on so they can confront them. Or C, I ain't seen nothing. What you gonna do?
This is a good question. It's so funny because this is a question that we used to discuss all the time.
Yep. So you had time to answer. What you got?
So I would say this is what I would do.
Come on now.
I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't just not do anything. I know that's not my answer.
Okay. So
scratch C.
So you either confront them or tell the spouse.
I would probably, first of all, I would probably have to get myself together. Get my mindset, all that stuff. And so what I would probably do is
Come on.
It's a way that you have to confront the person, because you don't. I would definitely say something to them. Now, how I would go about confronting them, that's the question. Because I'm not one of those people. I don't like causing a scene or anything like that, especially out in public, and I just won't cause a scene. But I would definitely confront that person and let them know, like, look, I see you, and my thing is, you remember Self used to say, I would tell them, shout out to Self, they got 24 hours to go ahead and tell their spouse, so I would definitely, confront them. And then another thing too, I would probably go to them like, hey, can I talk to you to the side, and just really figure out, because I'm just because there a lot of times we don't know what goes behind people's closed doors, So but I know I would confront them.
Okay.
I would confront them.
This is Mr. Picks A. She would confront them.
I think just how I would confront them. To the side. I would probably pull them to the side or send them a message, be like, hey, look, click, take a picture, dude. Or girl.
Why gotta be dude?
I just said dude or girl. I said dude or girl.
All right,
I said dude or girl.
Tell us get drunk on this side.
Right. What's going on here? You know. So,
fair enough. So A is her answer.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this right now, she chose A as a point. She would confront them.
Right.
Mine would be, I would actually choose A as well. I think I would choose A, but I would put it on the spot. I'm like,
So you'll go be like, where your...
especially if it's a woman that's out there. I think that...
So you go and be like, where your husband and your kids at?
Yes, exactly. I'm like, where is Jamal at? Where is Jamal? Oh, this ain't Jamal. You were talking about you had a headache. Jamal said you had a headache. Seems like your head's doing just fine tonight. And I was like, hey, brother, Jamal, you look different. You know what I'm saying? Come up to him. I think that is the way to go, especially for ladies out there. Now, if the fellas out there, I think you just do it more discreetly in terms of...
Oh, wow.
And let them know. Still the same, hey, you'd be like this, hey, bro, what's going on? What's happening now? You need to go ahead.
There's no double standard here.
It is double standard. It's not a double standard. It's not a double standard. What I'm saying is...
No, you cannot see...
Whoa. Hold on. What I'm saying is... Hold on. I never... Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Let me finish my point, then you can come to... I was just saying, if it's a guy, I would confront him because... And say, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? What's the right thing to do in this situation? And so, like, yeah, you're right, bro. I need to go ahead and so I would want him to tell him tell the lady the situation. Hey,
so with the female, with the wife, you go ahead and just put her out on blast, right?
Yeah, because she's not gonna listen to my mistakes. She gonna.
What makes you think she?
Out-vouch me.
So that's double standard. But anyway, so put in the comments.
Hold on, how's that double? You didn't even say what y'all's double standard. What you mean?
That's double standard because on one hand, like for me, I just said I would pull either one to the side. For you're stating that you will make a causal scene in front for the.
To teach it to learn a lesson. Sometimes a lesson needs to be learned.
Wow.
You don't think that's the right thing to do?
Wow.
What's wrong with that?
Wow.
What's wrong with that? All the fellas, please chime in here and say that's the correct thing to do. As a brother, you know what I'm saying? If you do it for, it's different temperaments. Women and men are made different. So like a fella, he could do it in terms of doing it.
I'm learning so much from you, even more about you.
That's what you need to be learning about me. You need to be
because that's such a double standard. I mean,
no, it's the same result. I want the. What result do you want to happen from that? You asking me? Oh, thank you for the great question. I want that to stop. I want the fair. Our goal here.
But the thing about it is, but your approach. But what I'm stating is, your approach is so. Like, and you know, we're gonna discuss this about how I feel. No, how I feel like that as women, specifically for African American women, we are so degraded on so many levels, and like this is a
how's that degrading?
Because your statement was that if it's a male, you'll pull him to the side, but if it's
like you did with it.
But if it's a female, you're going to cause a scene. Like, do you see what the issue is? Like, and what my statement was, regardless of male or female, I will pull them to the side. You know, go to your, you know, and it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I just think that's a double standard. But there's an upcoming episode that I want to talk about and address here that I feel like women, specifically African American women, how we are so oppressed and degraded by just.
I'm oppressed.
Not only are we oppressed and degraded not only by males, but also other females and even ourselves. And how can we overcome that? And I want some ladies to come on the show with me to discuss this, because this is just like. This is such a double standard.
So I'm saying, hold on, let me get straight. Let's break this down. What you said. She's caught up in a situation that she shouldn't be caught up in the first place, and so she's talking about she's being oppressed.
No. But what I'm stating is your approach, though. What I'm saying is your approach is a double standard.
I understand it is,
but your approach is a double standard. So
it has to be equal, though. It doesn't. Who says? I think this is what you think. It has to be equal is the way to go. Like in a classroom, some kids learn through kids still learn. Some kids learn through.
But your approach, though,
it's different because it's the.
All right, that done got me all kind of okay. Anyway, put in the comments whose side you're on. Put in the comments whose side you're on.
Please do this. Fellas, listen, because fellas don't want to comment on this side of the thing, but y'all need to come on out today and say what's going on with this one.
Okay, yeah. But A, would you confront your friend? B, would you just go ahead and just tell their spouse? Or C, would you just do nothing, just leave it alone?
I think most people probably pick C.
Most people probably pick C.
Ain't my business, so I don't know what they got.
And then I think another thing too, again, some people take the approach with C. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, you know, and then some people may feel like if they do get involved or whatnot, that it could cause friction within the relationship, with the friendship, and all of that stuff, and they're gonna blame me, and then they be all buddy, you know what I'm saying? So you know, so okay. So moving right along. Yes, please.
That's the last question. Whose side you're on?
Yes.
Mr. Of course.
Yes.
The most logical.
Yes. So moving right along to the learning part. Go ahead.
The learning part. So we're talking about in terms of loving and liking. Can you love somebody and not like them?
Okay.
Can you love somebody and not like them? What do y'all think? Can you love somebody and not like them?
I believe so. I believe you can love somebody and not like them.
Oh, definitely. I think you see that for the most part. But how does that get there though? Like, do you have to? Did you like me before you loved me?
I liked you before I loved you. I think it's natural. I think most of the times when people start a relationship, you know, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, you know, or, you know, intimate relationship, most of the time you do like that person before you start to love that person. Because and I wanted to establish what the definition of like was.
You got a definition?
Yes, of course.
All right, kick it on Tuesday.
Oh, wait a minute. Where did it go to?
Kick it on to us.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I got too many things open. But definition of light from the Webster Dictionary. Yes. So definition of light is to feel attraction toward or take pleasure in, or to feel toward. So again, like is one of those things. It's the attraction, which is a physical attraction. That
I'm rubbing my chest as you talk. I'm rubbing my chest.
So yes.
So you were feeling pleasant with me.
Yes.
Where did you feel pleasantness at?
I just felt an attraction to you. I feel like you were handsome. I think your personality was great. You were very funny. That sort of thing. I love to laugh naturally. So yeah.
So, laugh to get the yams out there, fellas.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, see, every time I do it, you see, please go back to the other episodes and see how her demeanor changed when I said the yams. Because this is what we want to demystify, take the taboo out of sex and yams. So you don't keep talking about that.
Yes.
So like, you got the definition of like.
Yes.
Now, love in terms of right? So you're thinking about like, and so many marriages too, like this is like in January we talked about like many people file for divorce at those times. And so many times you get to a roommate type situation, it didn't start off that way. Like you may love them, but the liking part fails and leaves the situation. For us, like people see us all the time on social media, so it's like, y'all don't ever see like y'all just love each other and like each other all the time. And I would say unequivocally, that is true. No, just checking no, which I think that is a part of the natural cycle of any relationship, right? So think about this. This is something I was talking to my brother-in-law Josh or whatever with too, and I was talking about how when you start a fire, right? Like if you barbecue or you start a fire somewhere, that initial part of the fire is the highest when you first start. So when you think about when we first started dating, right? When you're like this brother, I might give him some yams one day when he proposes. And so like that time is the highest part of a fire. Anytime you're in a relationship or like you start something, it's the part of the light because it's so like there are hormones that please like you typically do things outside of the norm that you would normally do when you like somebody. And so, but if you think about a fire, barbecue grill, anybody who grills or anything, 15 minutes go by, that fire is not as high as it was 15 minutes ago. 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Especially 4 hours later, those charcoals are like little, you got to try to scrape the stuff on it. And so many times in our relationship, we don't put the work in for it to keep that fire going because we're like, hey, I'm comfortable now. Like, oh, I'm married. I don't have to do what I did before. Like, I got her, I got him. And so many times that like is conditional, and so that love is not conditional in a sense. And so, like, I liked some things. So, like, what you were saying, or some things that, like, I liked how we interacted when we first got together.
Right.
Like, we was kicking it, we was coming through, and so y'all heard the story in the first one of the first episodes, how she kissed me first. I don't know if y'all believe that. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. I wish I had a video. Our cell phones didn't really have the capability at that time to show what's going on, but she kissed me first. And so, but before that though, like I felt like we liked each other. Like there was a likeness going on there. So you got your lip gloss on. You got your hair done today. Look at it. I like it. See what I did there? So, but it was just in terms of things. So you spend time together. You talk. You learn more about that person. We were friends for 4 years before we started. I don't know if you started. I think she liked me before we even got to college though. Because I remember seeing her at a little spot, like a little dance thing, and I was like dancing with a girl. She was like, why nobody? Let me clutch my pearls. My pearls need to be clutched. And so like the like part of that starts into it. And I think the more you get a chance to know each other and the more you're like, hey, like there's a switch that goes off. Like, I don't know if we get this question all the time. Like, when did you know you loved that person? When did you know? Do you remember the time that you knew that you loved me?
Oh yeah, I remember. I think I shared this with you before. Jeff used to work for Macy's, and we started dating in around May of 20.
She was already feeling me.
May 2005. We officially started dating. I think it was actually my cousin's wedding. I think it was May 21st.
And men can't make it official. No. That's another sexist thing. Men can never say, we date now. You know what I'm saying?
No,
we go together.
no. Because I think I asked, I was like, no, my statement was to him on the day of my cousin's wedding. My statement was to you, okay, so where are we going with this? And so.
But when we asked you that, you already know what that.
No, I mean, I was honest.
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah, I really wanted to know what your thoughts were. I was like, where are we going with this? But anyway, so we dated May, and then we were able to hang out, that summer, summer
Kick
love,
off your shoes
having fun that summer,
hey.
whatever. And then in August, of course, it was time back to school, back to work, and he had graduated and all that stuff, so he got a job in Macy's and moved to Memphis. And so that was cool, but then he had to go to Atlanta for a couple of weeks for training.
2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Peace up, A-Town down.
And then, so when he left, I was like, okay, cool, I'm not one, I think as a result of having kids, I begin to show my emotions more and communicate my emotions more, but it does not naturally come for, it doesn't come.
Keep going.
Yeah, but it doesn't naturally come, it doesn't come natural for me to show and communicate my feelings. And so I remember you going to Macy's, and I was like, I'm not going, gangster, I'm not gonna let nobody see me sweat.
Look at my face. Listeners, close your eyes.
Because again, I'm just one of those people, like, I don't want to show my emotions, express my emotions. And so, but I remember him leaving, going, and, I was like, okay, I think I took you to the airport, and I dropped him off at the airport, and, I was just driving, and all of a sudden, like, I just started crying. I was like,
hey, you know what I'm saying? I had a little hair then, too. Hey.
Yeah, he did have hair then. And so I just remember crying, because I was like, oh, my God.
waves.
Like, I was like, man, like, I must really care for him, because I'm like, I never, I just.
Emotions make you cry sometimes. All right.
So, yeah. So, that's when I knew August of 2005 that I loved Jeffrey.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That way.
I just want to pause for dramatic effect. That's good. That's real good. That's real. Yes, I remember that time. I said the letter. I'm gonna bring that letter on air and read that to y'all. But you
still got the letter?
You didn't think I got it?
See, that was before social media and text messages. We used to write letters or something. We need to go back to that.
I'm all game for it. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in.
2020. So 2020. Let's not send text messages. Let's go back to love letters and cards and write a long drawn out. So let's put that as a challenge. No more texting, talking about I love you and all of that stuff. Let's become back to be a hopeless romantics and all of that. Yeah,
So that's all right. That's all right. And so,
yes.
So.
But what was your question though? What was the original?
Yeah, I mean that was good. That was good. That was good information for me to see about what's happening.
But now, is there a time though? Do you feel like that there was a time that you did not like me? I think that was the original.
That's what I was leading to. But it's good to see, because you need to talk about too. Ask your spouse, your mate, your friend, whoever you're talking to, where we going? Where we going with this partner? Like she asked me. But
okay, ladies. Okay, so again, I'm not a forward. Like again, what I believe that chivalry needs to be alive and not dead. Okay. So I'm the mindset. Call me old school a little bit, but I'm the mindset that a man should approach you. I think we discussed this last week.
We talked about last episode
like
go back and check the last episode.
So if would you
episode
propose?
14.
Would you propose to your
if you like me, yes, that's a good. Oh, that's good. If you start crying, would you have proposed to me? Like,
no, I still want to propose.
I thought you liked me like.
But again, I'm of a different mindset. My mindset is that I feel like that the man should, chase, whatever you want to call it. And so again, ladies, there is a way that you could casually put it out there. So, and my question was to him, we're sitting there talking about relationships, and again, it was casual, like, hey, so are you going to be my boyfriend? I didn't do that. I just said, hey. So where are we heading?
I'm spending the night over. I'm at her cousin's wedding at this time. She had took me to a barbecue over at Mama's house. It was like, hey, and so we went to. I'm waiting.
But again, ladies, if we want specifics, all of that means nothing. I mean, my thing is, like, I get it, you came to the barbecue and all of that stuff, but hey, we could have just been friends because nowadays you got to spell things out. Ladies, my thing is, ladies, allow that man, we need to spell it out. So, because I think is a lot of times men be like, oh, well, no, you can just say, oh, well, no, we just friends. You know, yeah, I go to all my friends' barbecue. Yeah, oh, I go to all my friends' cousins.
Everybody's cousin with it. Yeah, girl, you thought we was together.
Yes, exactly. So, ladies, we need specifics. And so I'm not saying you got to have a contract or nothing like that. But again, you could just casually say, hey, so where we're heading, you know, and that was my question. I specifically asked them, so where are we going with this?
So my reply was,
I didn't say, but my question wasn't, so are you going to be my boyfriend, or, you know, look, you need to propose, you need to do something, you got 2 weeks to make up your mind. It was no ultimatum. My simple question, and that question led to many different things. My question is, where are we going with this?
And then be willing to hear an answer that you don't want to hear, though. So
be prepared.
What if I would have said, because I would have been like, well, I mean, we cool and all. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just feeling it out. Like, I don't like to put labels.
But now you have your answer, though.
I don't like to put.
But now you have your answer
move with
because you have to move with that. So if Jeff would have said, hey, well, you know, we cool and all, I just don't know where. Okay, cool. Mental check. Okay, then now I know how to proceed accordingly. My thing is, then now I know if I know that I want to get serious about the relationship, but if he tells me no, he's not, then I need to make a mental check. Okay, you know what? Cool then. Then you're not gonna get too many invitations to the barbecue. And my thing is,
I can't eat no more.
So men again be willing to accept that as well. Like, no, you're not getting no invitation to the barbecue. No, you're not getting another invitation to my cousin's wedding or whoever else get married and all of that stuff. Whoever, but make a mental check. So again, ladies, you could casually ask the questions for all my single ladies here. You know, if you in a relationship or potentially looking into a relationship, or if you just trying to clarify where your status is with that person, just casually ask them. So where are we going with this? But be prepared for the answer.
Same thing. And so, yeah, fellas, you know what I'm saying? We got to step up in the means of doing that, too. And so, after all those things happen, so you're out there like that, and you get together, and they say what you want, and y'all start looking back at each other, and put a lip gloss on, y'all keep moving forward in the relationship, you get married. And so, you know, the marriage relationship can move from like to love, but then it can go back in reverse sometimes, or what we're asking in terms of what we're talking about today, even too, in terms of, like, love, like, I love you, but I don't like you. And so your question was, what are times, these are some specific times too that we have, also some times that people may not like each other, is the times that used to be before. I think one thing happens is, like, you can look back and say, this used to happen, but now it doesn't happen because of, for whatever reason. And people change, I think, in a sense. So what's one thing that one time, because people don't believe, like, y'all like each other all the time, but there are seasons, I think, like marriage and things go through, and it's just like communicating through those things out. So I think liking, like, one time that, like, before, like, we didn't have cell phones. So a time that I love you but didn't like you was one of the times that I felt you were on your phone more at those times. So I was like, man, I missed the girl who used to, had 10-cent text messages, so you had to be. Well, that was a beautiful time too. That was a beautiful time. Well, for some people bill was crazy. They're like, oh Lord, I'm still paying that Sprint bill from way back in the past. But I think, like, for me, one of my love languages is quality time, and so I think the phone, which is a great tool, we can look up anything you want to have. You can have those things, but it also can be a distraction to what it was. And so there was a period of time, I think, in our marriage that I thought, like, you were on the phone more than what it used to be before. And so it's trying to communicate that. That's the episode coming up too. Like, the phone, like, dealing with the phone, dealing with technology and stuff like that. And so, but I think for me at that point, like, there are choices. So I think, you know, just kind of spell that. And there may be some people too. There may be ladies that's saying that, you know, about men or vice versa, but that it just becomes just a thing. Especially if quality time is your love language, you can be like, you know, man, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And, like, hope for those different. So what do you do is something we're going to talk about in just a minute too. But, like, what do you do when I love them but I don't like them? Like, some people listen right now like, man, we just roommates. We just kicking it right now because the like has left. Or, like, resentment has fell in. So, like, in those times, I could either communicate with her about it, or I could just start to resent her and do things that may come out naturally from what I've seen from my parents, what I've seen coming up, to say, you know what, she's on the phone, so I'm just gonna stay out, or I'm not gonna come in at the same time with, or I'm gonna stop doing the things that she like since I feel like she's doing something that I dislike. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And so whatever your thing is, yours may be like, oh well, this person used to cook, or this person used to, you know, take me out to the movies or something like that. Whatever it is that you may have, how do you communicate something you don't like is the biggest thing that I feel like separates that pointer from love to like. Is like, if that is not there, how do I communicate to you, like, man, like, I love you, but what's happening right now is this is something that, how do I communicate without it, like, pushing us further apart? Does that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes sense? And so I think for most listeners now today, or people watching today, is like, what do I do, right? So what is, my first thought is, what is your natural reaction to when something happens that you don't like? It typically comes out in that thing. So many people argue on those things, say, you know what? Like, oh, let me tell you about this, and let me point out more negative things that come out.
Right.
That come to the point.
Yeah.
And so, but like, some of the positive things are being able to communicate that, but putting it back on yourself. So like, the learning part about this for me, something I learned throughout that process is like saying how you feel, but not putting the onus on that other person. Like, the natural thing for us is like, you need to get off your phone. You need to do this. You need to get in it. And so, how do you naturally react when that happens? Or how do you think people naturally react when they say you?
You become defensive.
Yes.
You become defensive. You naturally become defensive. But I'm so happy you said that, because I had just posted on my story today. Oh my goodness, it went away. But it was, hold on.
Okay, cool. What?
Yeah.
You got it.
Stop expecting you from other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe we discussed
What does that mean
it
to you?
before.
What does that mean?
I think a lot of times we want people to be us, but those people would never be us. And so when we expect people to be us, we expect for them to respond like we would respond, but they won't. I mean, you know, like for example, you said with me on my phone or whatnot, right? Or with me, you feel like, you know, whatever, you know, if you feel like that I give my time, you know, to so many people, you know, whatever the situation is, like, you have to understand I am who I am. I'm a natural, you know, I give, I give a lot of my time, whatever. And so that's hard for me to, I think, you're not as much of a giver, you know. You more so like you definitely, I wouldn't say you put Jeffrey, you put, you know what I'm saying, you put
you is the thing.
I'm sorry.
You got to apply what we're talking about it. But no, that's cool.
But I'm talking about for this specific instance. But most of the time, you pretty much, you know, you like, you cool. You don't have to. You do what you're supposed to do. That's it. You're not gonna do no more. You're not gonna do exceedingly abundantly above all things.
When we be Jesus, you're gonna be the Son of God.
But what I'm saying, I hope that makes sense.
I'm not. No. That's what I'm hearing you say. God would do exceedingly abundantly. Then you want to put Jeffrey would do exceedingly abundantly.
What I'm saying is, you pretty much, you're gonna take care of self. Okay. So you're going to take care of self. But you want me to do the same. You want me to put, you want me to do the same.
Is that what you're asking me? Or is that
no, I'm asking.
It's like a statement of what you're saying. I hear what you're saying there. I would want anybody, I think, to take care of, well, it's like self-care. So I think, like, you have to take care of self to be a giver or a non-giver or a medium giver, whatever you would label yourself as. But I think in the volume of what we're talking about today, like in terms of what we're saying is, I would say if I gave away, let's say you wanted my energy, and if I gave my energy away to my job, I do stand-up comedy, if I gave to stand-up comedy, I gave it to everything else, I think, like, even though that may be my natural way of doing it, I think because I'm in a relationship, it'll be a disservice to you, which it may not be natural for me to do that, but I think once you become one in that and saying, And something we're working on too this year too. This year 13. That's why I said you still growing, still learning, still pushing that thing. One thing is like, let me learn what fills your love tank and let me try to do those things.
Right.
And then hopefully vice versa, you're on the same bucket there. But I think like some things that I naturally am are going to be anti what fuels your love tank. And so I can either stay there and say, hey, that's just me. You got to just, I can say, I love and like her. See what I did there? I love and like her enough that I'm going to be intentional. I don't want to say uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable doing something different.
It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, but being intentional about saying, you know what, this is what feels a love tank. And it's not natural for me to do that, but I desire, because I paid for this ring. Show him the ring. Show him the ring real quick. Huh? You got the ring? Bam! Show it to him. Oh.
You so
27 easy payments. 27 easy payments. I didn't pay for this ring, but to be not pursuing this and to let it go. That's what and so thinking about, but I think after that fire, like we talk about, ooh, look at God. After that fire goes down, you typically naturally saying, hey, it flips the other way. So like opposites, and that's another episode we got coming up. So y'all got to stay tuned with this part. Opposites may bring us together, but will they keep us together? That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Man, most people listening now is opposites, right? They're like, oh, I wish that person would be like that.
Yeah, but that's huge because Jeff and I are definitely opposites. We are on two different ends of the spectrum.
Peanut butter Jeff.
No, I don't think we hear me.
No, I mean, right and wrong. Is that too good? Right and wrong. You decide who right and wrong. It's not neither here to tell her she wrong. I know y'all, it'd be better if y'all did. So put it cover.
But the thing about it is, I think that's a question that a lot of people have to ask. Like, opposite, a lot of times you are attracted to the person that's opposite of you. It's just natural. But again, will that keep
we're going to talk about that. We got a whole episode on that. So get ready for that too. But just in terms of what we're saying, just kind of put that piece on. It's just thinking that on the things that I don't like, first, can you communicate that without getting emotional, or without storming off, or without withdrawing, or without actually listening to what that person's saying? So it's like communicating, like, I love you, but this is something I don't like. Can I communicate that to where those do it? And that's something that I struggled with on things that she didn't like, because I would even like rehearse the conversation. You know what? I'm gonna kick it off with this. I'm gonna try to talk low tone and do that. And many times that would be a trigger for her, or vice versa. And then we would get loud with each other, and then you'd be like, we wouldn't even do it.
How did it go from 0 to 100? So I think, and it's so important though, I think another thing too, as a part of marriage, when you talk about liking and loving each other, is one of the things that we've learned, and we mentioned this before, is, you just have to choose your battles as well. You realize, like, is this worth the fight? Is it worth the argument? And I think that's hard for Jeffrey. I think it's really hard, because for me, I think one of the words, I didn't even share this with somebody, I was like, you know what, my word for this year, for 2020, one word, okay. Because, because for me, I just feel like, as we continue to grow and, as we get older, I want to be around to see my great grandkids. So some things for me no longer is worth the stress, the added stress and all of that stuff. And I'm not stating that you have to not, have disagreements. I'm not stating that, but sometimes it's just one word, okay? Like, it is not worth the battle, for me any longer to fight and, for every single thing. Because again, like I say, I want to be around for my great grandkids. And then two, it's just like, is it worth causing tension or, strife, within your marriage or within your relationship? And for me, everything is not worth the argument. And so, agree to disagree.
I agree with it a little bit, but I'll give a little pushback on it.
I'm sure you will.
On just that, I think you need to, that can happen sometimes. I don't think that should be the majority of
I'm not saying for every, but I'm just talking about for those who, because I think at one time though, it was like, man, like, for me, I just felt like, oh my God, here go another disagreement. Like, And so it just becomes exhausting and taxing. Like I'd rather spend that time and energy versus, arguing about whatever it is. And a lot of times, again, like I say, just choose the battle. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, is just choose the battle. Because I'd rather spend that time and energy of us, like, okay, reaching goals and talking about, long-term goals, or, what we want to do this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather spend that time and energy on that, and I think it goes back to one of the other conversations we had, is healthy disagreements or healthy fighting. Like, I think that's so important. I'm talking about those disagreements where they go from 0 to 100 are just not worth it. Yeah,
definitely. Which I think sometimes is learning how
the
to
trigger points.
Yeah, learn the trigger points.
But you know your spouse well enough, and the thing about it, I feel like sometimes we push our spouse to that point. I'm just being honest. I do feel like we push our spouse to that point because you know those words that could trigger your spouse, and I think sometimes pride sets in, and when that pride sets in, you like, man, you know what? No, I am gonna say this, and vengeance is mine. Vengeance is not yours. You know what I'm saying? So, so I feel like we push our spouse to the edge, and so we know what we can say to. When you know your spouse, you know what you can say to trigger them. Yeah.
And so that's true. That's true. Yes.
And I don't know if we do that again. It's out of pride. I think is it to get a response out of that person. So yeah.
Got you. No, well, I was thinking, just with that too. But like, for people who are listening right now, watching right now, in terms of if you sit back, you're like, that's me. I love my spouse, or I love who I'm with, but I don't really like them. And I would say, like, a couple different points, right? Like, communicate that. Like, say it, but say it with the I. Like, I miss some of those things that we used to do. Like, I love it when you write me letters. I love it when you do those things that bring that light part of it, because it's conditional based on some things. But the love should keep you through those dark moments. Like, don't expect. I was listening to the podcast, and they were saying, like a letter like that. And we're gonna jump into some of the letters you guys have sent too. But just in terms of, like, they were saying, like, life is too short not to be happy. And so I think that's a dangerous thing to put in, especially with marriage, because you agree to a covenant agreement that you're getting into. And so if you go through, what's something like, you not happy in 2 months, not happy in 6 months, you're thinking about, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But I think the thing about it is because life is too short to be unhappy. And so I think what the people are stating in regards to that is you don't want to be in a marriage. And it's not to say that you won't have down times and disappointing times. You are. That's life. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. But what I'm stating is, like, you can't be in a toxic relationship though. So especially, like, what typically happens in those situations, it becomes toxic if only one person, because there will be sometimes where only one person is only one, you feel like one person is working on the relationship. But what are you guys trying to do to achieve? So how are you trying to overcome that unhappiness? If two people are unhappy, okay, maybe it's time for counseling, or maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board, because and I do agree with that. Life is too short, but what are the two people doing together to overcome that unhappiness? So, so that's what I would say to that. Because, and I don't like to use the word happiness. I believe joy, because joy is one of those things that you're like, okay, joy. It could be ups, it could be downs. Joy's
not based on conditions. Like, happiness is based on like, you do this. If you make this amount of money, if we live in this place, if I'm able to travel this much, if you cooking dinner every night, you washing the clothes.
Unrealistic expectations.
But people have those, and that's the reason why they feel like they're not happy. And so many times it's easy to look at somebody else outside of the relationship and say, this person will make me happy. And it's more of a falsity of saying, that's not why you get into it.
But not only that, I think also unhappiness could be caused by if the woman feel like that she's not valued, or the man feel like they're not valued, or they feel like that their expectation, what I'm saying? So not just talking about traveling and all of that stuff, not that, but I believe unhappiness also could be caused by, like, if that person feel like that they're not valued, or if they're not being heard, or or they've been feeling oppressed, so there's more to it than that, just the conditional things, so material things.
Oh no, what I was saying, material, I think those things are those things too, but I'm thinking, like, I think when there are problems that come from marriage, same thing for anybody for the most part, is that what do you do when those problems comes up? If I don't like you, there's typically a problem that used to be there, that I used to like you, but it's not there now. Right. Something that's there. And so the easy thing that I'm thinking is the fact is like, I want to put my happiness on you, on Miss Smith. So it's your responsibility to keep me happy.
Oh, no.
That's not going to work. I think that's the thing that I have to be happy before this point comes up.
Don't depend. Now, I do believe you need to communicate with your spouse.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And then say, this is what my expectations are, what my needs are, that sort of thing. Do the love language trust, all of that stuff. But again, I think we do set ourselves up if we completely depend on our spouse for our happiness.
Because it's going to let you
down. Because again, like I stated earlier, don't expect people to be you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because you would just be disappointed. Because if I expect Jeffrey to be me, like, let me tell you, we would have been done a long time ago because he's far from me.
And vice versa. She's
no. What I'm saying, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. No, same thing. I'm not taking it as a bad thing. No. But just saying, people listening, like, what do they take away from this point? It's like, communicate that, but use your own feelings, not them. So not saying you, but saying I feel those type of ways.
Yes.
Go back to doing some things that you did beforehand. Many times those things are lost in that saying, and you can give a reason why you're not doing it. Like, well, we ain't got the time. The kids are doing this, or they have all these activities. I don't have time to do those. If this is the number one priority, then make that the number one priority. If you look at your time throughout the day, how much time is spent with you all and not just everything else, work and life and everything else. And so you look before, you had a lot of those things. And then just the last thing I want to say is just, if you need help about that, seek counseling, be around other couples, that are pushing.
Get a mentor.
Yeah, those things there. And so, don't just sit in that space of I don't like this person, because the more you think about that, the more you'll find what you don't like.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, if you pick something on me like, you know what, I don't like the way his chin hairs are looking, and you start looking like, look how they twist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll start to.
And believe me, there have been moments where if Jeff, and I'm sure it's the same for me. I know it's the same for me. But there have been moments if Jeff and I are, when we've been going through, I could just be like, you know what? Why is he even breathing? You know what I'm saying?
Look at this joker breathing.
You made it through the night. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, Lord, if something should happen,
you're gonna feel bad now. I'm gonna hunt you like Ghost Dad.
But it's just natural. I mean, and I think we have to come to realization you're not gonna like or love everything about that person. So it's just one of those things that we just try to. And that's real. And I say, I'm sure it's the same thing for me. But he wake up, he's like, dang, she made it.
I know. And there's be times I'd be like, what really? It's only a few things. It's only a few things she does. And it's the times that she's told me, she'll be like, I'm tired tonight. Tomorrow is those times, and I'll be working the next day diligently working through, and I get to the end of the night, and she'll be asleep. I'll be like, I really don't like this lady. Right now, and I'll say something else, but this is what the instance, and many are like, yes, I feel you. Y'all have told me with this. And so, women, don't do that. Don't give us false hope out there about the yams.
So now I don't even say. I don't even give a time. I'm just like, let's just be spontaneous with it, and yes. So.
That's something we're going to talk about too. Scheduling sex. Scheduling the yams. Is that something you want to do with
that?
So we'll wrap it up.
Yes, because this is...
so we'll roll to this point. But if you don't... Let me let's point this point. I'm going to learn part of that. Is that if you found you love your spouse but you don't like them, don't stop there. Work on you. Work on the relationship. Keep putting in work. And just, if it's there, for better or for worse. That's not what we signed up for. I didn't sign up for this. But it's work toward feeling yourself, building us... Many more things that we're going to talk about, but communicate.
Yes.
Those things. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So
for the loving part, each week, for the next 4 weeks. So
let me read it, because...
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute.
You got this?
Okay. Each week for the next 4 weeks, you two will alternate doing things the other person likes. You probably want to start with a week first and gradually grow.
Hold
on. You will engage it. You will what?
Let me read this. Let me read this.
Yeah.
So this is what it says. For the next 4 weeks, which is a month. You're going to alternate those weeks. Please disregard everything that was just said. This is the terms of if you want to like that person, it's going to take work. Means we want the natural, like, oh, I don't want to work. I want to like this is the work it's going to take. Now it's just simple things as this. One day out of that week, you're going to ask that person saying, what would you like me to do with you? So the other day she watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not a sponsor yet. # you need to be. And so I sit there and watch that. I thought that was it. But then she watched Married with Medicine, or Married to Somebody's Medicine. And so I sit there and watch that. And so I watched that. So I said, you know what? Let me try to do what is coming up in the episode right here. So how did that make you feel when I did that?
It made me feel good because, life happened,
What happened? What you mean life happened? You have to break it down for me. What does that mean? Well, they can't hear you what you're saying. You whispering it. So this is what happened. So she gave me the yams after I watched the episode. That's what she's trying to say. So fellas, watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. If we knew that way before, guys would be it'd be the most popular show in the world. Or
now I can get him to start watching 40 Days Fiancé.
That's not. It's too long. I don't have this 3-4 hours for this time. But so for the next 4 weeks, next month, you're gonna alternate 2 each person. So she gets 2, you get 2. Ask that person now. What you? It's time exerted. Well, it's real out here. I don't like when you're saying. But that's what I'm trying to get them to like you.
Okay.
And so, but the next 4 weeks, you're gonna alternate that so ladies.
Yeah. So example, you can watch sports with him. You can do the yams. You can buy anything. You can play cards. Watch a movie, whatever you need to do. And so we would like to air what our Mr. Master.
You say this. So don't just stop. So if you got your spouse, you love them, but you don't like them.
Say I like you.
Hold on, what? They kill it down. Oh. you what's going to your stomach here? Hello, can somebody? I don't want to kiss nobody with no stomach that's going up, but I love you enough to look in the eyes and say I love you. Hold on.
No.
Okay,
I like you.
No, listen.
Look, it says. It says I like you. I love you. I want you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I like you. I love you, and I want you. Give him some sugar. Mwah. Oh, sorry. She hit me. That's not. So listen, we love y'all.
Yes.
God loves you. Ain't
we love
nothing
you can do about it. Yes.
Tell another human about the podcast. Like, subscribe. She about to pass out. Oh, you see how real this podcast is. The realest #1 relationship marriage podcast in the world. Tell you to follow us.
Love.
We're gonna sing you out. We're gonna sing you out. Please disregard. This is horrible. Listen, thank you.
You can edit all of this.
I'm not editing this. You're gonna stay here. No, I'm not. I'm not editing this out. Thank you. We're gonna sing us out every time. One, it's laugh, learn, love.
I can't even think right now.
Oh my goodness.
Ahead, come on.
One, hold on. We're gonna sing you out, okay? 1, 2, 3. Come on, y'all.
Laugh, learn, love.
What we did.
Laugh, learn, love.
What was the episode about?
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
What you doing?
Laugh, learn, love.
What you and your spouse doing?
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah.
And that's our show.
Go back and watch these past episodes. Tell somebody. Rate, like it, subscribe. Man, we love y'all. Mr. Family.
Thank you.
Oh.